Stop for a moment and picture the life you truly desire. Envision the satisfaction of daily progress, the thrill of setting ambitious goals, and the pride of finally reaching them. Are you truly prepared to break free from every self-imposed limit and join those who never settle for anything less than their absolute best? The most extraordinary achievers in this world do not wait for perfect conditions, they take action, adapting to whatever circumstances life throws at them. This script is your invitation to step into that mindset, to move from wishing for success to actively creating it. Understand that the real magic lies in the process of relentless self-improvement. True winners plant the seeds of growth long before they reap the harvest of achievements. Now, as we journey together, keep your mind open to that final sparkling insight, the diamond hidden at the end, which could redefine your path forever. Winners are not born with a unique advantage that guarantees their success. Instead, they cultivate a relentless drive, fueled by a vision of a future that is grander than their present. This drive inspires them to overcome the inertia of comfort and to chase each challenge with vigor. If you feel a spark of ambition, that flicker of possibility is the same ember of determination that has propelled visionaries throughout history. With each passing day, you have the power to stoke that ember into a roaring flame. The key is to take a single step forward and never allow setbacks or detours to derail your progress. Winners, guided by mentors like Jim Rohn, understand that external events matter far less than the power of their internal resolve. If you can master yourself, the world will have no choice but to bend to your unwavering dedication. Every day we face a choice: remain comfortably static or push forward into the unknown territory that fosters real transformation. It is easy to linger in familiar routines where our biggest worries revolve around meeting only the bare minimum. However, those who aspire to greatness recognize that stagnation is the enemy of progress. They deliberately place themselves in circumstances that challenge, stretch, and sometimes even terrify them. Because of this conscious choice to endure discomfort, they emerge not just better equipped for life's trials, but also far more confident in their capacity to handle the unpredictable. This attitude doesn't come from arrogance. It comes from repeatedly stepping up to life's challenges and proving to themselves that they can handle what comes next. Push beyond your comfort zone by consistently raising your personal standard. If you have been content with a certain level of output, identify one area in your life, be it fitness, relationships, or career, and resolve to step up your game. Winners live by the principle that small daily improvements compound into massive results over time. Jim Rohn often reminded us that success is neither magical nor mysterious. It's the natural consequence of consistently applying basic fundamentals. When you choose to refine your habits and actions, it's like making small deposits in an interest-bearing account. The earlier you start, the larger the eventual return. There is no secret formula or hack for achieving your ultimate dreams, just the patient and persistent application of these universal truths. Do not underestimate the power of clarity. Many drift aimlessly through life, uncertain of their destination, and wonder why they never arrive at success. Winners choose a different path. They set clear intentions, write down their goals, and regularly revisit their aspirations. This practice is not about stifling spontaneity. Rather, it gives their efforts direction. Your mind has incredible problem-solving capabilities, but it needs a target. The moment you decide where you want to go, your subconscious mind starts devising ways to get there. This natural process of orientation and pursuit can feel almost effortless once you make your vision explicit. Embrace the discipline of crafting a clear roadmap, because clarity is the precursor to productive action. Each morning, winners create a mental environment that primes them for success. The simple act of reflecting on personal values and aspirations can drastically affect how you handle the rest of your day. When you acknowledge the direction you want your life to take, it becomes far easier to align your tasks with that greater purpose. This process might start with affirmations, visualizations, or simply a few minutes of silent contemplation. The details matter less than the consistency of taking time to reconnect with your reason for pushing forward. That reason should light a fire in your soul, something greater than your fears or laziness, and strong enough to call you out of bed when the world still sleeps. Winners also know how to transform routine tasks into purposeful rituals. Instead of seeing your responsibilities as mundane obligations, frame them as stepping stones toward mastery. When you treat every opportunity, no matter how minor, as a chance to improve, you invest in a mindset that rejects mediocrity. This discipline of continuous improvement extends even to moments that others might call trivial. Folding your laundry neatly, preparing a wholesome meal, or putting in that extra 5 minutes at the end of a workout might seem insignificant in isolation, But each act is a building block of your character. By deciding to execute every action with intention, you train your mind to expect excellence in every facet of your life. Jim Rohn famously taught that we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Winners take this to heart and carefully curate their environment. They actively seek out those who challenge them to grow, rather than settling for relationships that merely feed complacency. Assess your social circle. Are the individuals around you supporting your highest aspirations? Or are they mirroring your current comfort zone? When you surround yourself with driven people, their energy becomes contagious. Shared ambition can be the catalyst that pushes you to go the extra mile. If your circle lacks this vitality, it might be time to expand your horizons. That doesn't mean abandoning important relationships, but it does mean becoming mindful of how other people's attitudes affect your own. Mindset is just the beginning. Winners combine ambition with consistent, strategic action. They don't drown in big dreams without translating them into daily measurable steps. Every morning, reevaluate your short-term targets. What must you accomplish today to move 1 inch closer to your overarching goal? Once you identify these tasks, approach them with unwavering focus. Winners are not immune to procrastination or distraction, but they learn to manage these obstacles. They develop rituals, like turning off social media notifications, or segmenting their day into blocks of productivity and short periods of rest. Progress accelerates when your actions flow seamlessly from your vision. Fueled by discipline and a refusal to negotiate with excuses, disappointment can be a crushing weight that deters many people from pushing forward. Winners, however, treat setbacks as data points, information to be used in recalculating their approach. They understand that momentary failure is not an identity, but merely an event. If you can extract lessons from each failure, you transform negative experiences into building blocks for future victories. Instead of running from challenges, winners reframe them as opportunities to refine their approach. This attitude shift can be the difference between giving up after a stumbling block and pressing on until the finish line. Embracing failure as a necessary part of growth frees you to take bigger risks and aim for loftier heights, knowing that each misstep refines your strategy. Commitment to personal development sets winners apart in a world that too often encourages conformity. They devour books, attend seminars, and engage in conversations that spark new ideas. Curiosity becomes a guiding principal itch that refuses to be ignored. By continually feeding your mind with knowledge, you enlarge your perspective and become more adaptable. This educational journey is not just about formal schooling. It's about being an eternal student of life. Whether it's learning a new language or researching emerging technologies, never stop stretching your intellectual boundaries. Jim Rohn believed that your level of success seldom exceeds your level of personal development. In other words, if you grow yourself, success becomes a natural byproduct. Self-reflection is another cornerstone of growth. Winners set aside time to measure their progress, evaluate their habits, and question their beliefs. This is not a casual exercise. It's a deliberate act of honesty that often reveals discomforting truths about where they are falling short. However, by facing these truths head-on, they maintain agency over their evolution. Through journals or mindful introspection, winners hold themselves accountable for their actions. They celebrate small wins, recalibrate when they veer off course, and design new strategies for tackling repeated issues. This constant feedback loop ensures that every day, they're becoming a slightly better version of themselves. Energy management is crucial for sustaining the relentless pace winners maintain. The body is your vehicle for accomplishing great things, so it warrants careful attention. Proper nutrition, regular exercise, and sufficient rest are not optional if you aim for peak performance. They are essential. Winners do not simply cram their schedules with endless tasks, ignoring their physical and emotional well-being. Instead, they optimize their daily routines to include space for recovery. They understand that a fatigued mind is more vulnerable to negativity, doubt, and poor decision-making. By treating their health as a non-negotiable priority, they set themselves up to operate at full capacity when it counts the most. Stress is an inevitable byproduct of pursuing big goals. Winners perceive stress not as an all-consuming threat, but as a sign that they're pushing their boundaries. The difference is that they develop coping mechanisms: meditation, journaling, spending time in nature, or engaging in a hobby that brings them joy to reset their emotional equilibrium. This does not mean they avoid pressure entirely. Rather, they learn to harness it, using it to sharpen their focus and elevate their performance. By building resilience to stress, they maintain the stamina required to go the distance. Don't fear pressure. Let it teach you how to refine your approach and cultivate mental fortitude. Winners are not fixated solely on themselves. They understand that real triumph involves lifting others along the way. Whether it's mentoring a newcomer in their field or volunteering in the community, helping others cultivates empathy and strengthens relationships. Moreover, by teaching or guiding someone else, winners reinforce their own understanding and deepen their sense of purpose. This practice aligns with Jim Rohn's philosophy of growing beyond self-interest. Service fuels gratitude, and gratitude fosters a positive mental environment, making it easier to persist through challenges. True winners measure success not just in what they gain, but in the positive impact they leave on those around them. Solidifying a habit of daily goal review can transform your mind into a goal-seeking machine. Winners do not see their aspirations as distant fantasies. They embody them every single day. This consistent rehearsal of dreams keeps them fresh and urgent. Prompt question: what can I do now to bring this closer to reality? Visualize not just the end result, but the steps you will take to get there. Imagine the obstacles that might arise and rehearse how you will respond. This mental preparation can reduce anxiety and indecision, allowing you to spring into action when the moment arrives. You begin to view challenges as steps in the choreography of success, orchestrating each move with intention and self-assuredness. Yes, you will lose momentum sometimes, because life can be chaotic and unpredictable. In those moments, a strong mindset and clear goals will guide you back onto your path. Winners plan for the unplanned by building routines that are both disciplined and flexible. They set aside certain times for unbreakable commitments, like reading or physical training, but remain open to life's curveballs. By focusing on systems rather than rigid schedules, they create a framework for success that can adapt to unexpected changes. The key is not to aim for a flawless routine. It's to ensure that deviations don't result in total derailment. Resilience is the hallmark that allows them to bounce back stronger than before. Words hold transformative power. Winners use language that encourages growth and progress. They talk about solutions rather than dwelling on problems, about possibilities rather than limitations. This choice of words is not superficial positivity. It's a deliberate strategy to direct their thinking toward growth. When they stumble, they ask, "What can I learn from this?" instead of bemoaning fate. Over time, this constructive inner dialogue shapes their identity as problem solvers. Be mindful of how you speak to yourself. Do you belittle your capabilities or focus on what you lack? Shift your narrative to reinforce your strengths and aspirations. That simple linguistic adjustment can lead to profound changes in how you act and perceive the world. Time is the currency of achievement. Winners treat each day as an asset to be invested wisely. They know that an hour wasted is an hour they cannot reclaim. Therefore, they place great value on time management, ensuring that their daily schedule reflects their top priorities. This might involve limiting mindless scrolling or cutting back on activities that don't align with their vision. It's not about removing joy or spontaneity. It's about designing each day to leave room for productive work, personal development, meaningful relationships, and restorative relaxation. By allocating your hours thoughtfully, you create a life that is both deeply fulfilling and driven by purpose. In the face of obstacles, winners keep their eyes on the bigger picture. They live by the principle that the best view comes after the hardest climb. Those painful moments when you're riddled with self-doubt or paralyzed by fear are exactly the points where breakthroughs are forged. If you retreat at every sign of difficulty, you remain stuck at the base of the mountain, staring up at the summit you claim to want. Winners are not necessarily braver than anyone else. They simply acknowledge fear and proceed anyway. They bank on the idea that growth rarely occurs in the absence of challenge. By reframing difficulties as stepping stones, they maintain a forward trajectory even when the path appears steep. Part of pushing yourself daily involves monitoring your emotional reactions. When you're tempted to lash out at a harsh comment or give in to frustration over a setback, winners encourage a moment of pause. They train themselves to act from a place of wisdom rather than reflex. Emotional control isn't about suppressing feelings. It's about channeling them into productive behavior. Jim Rohn advocated for emotional mastery as a tool for maintaining clarity and reason in the face of adversity. Exercising patience in tense moments or responding calmly in heated situations sets the tone for how you navigate your entire life. Over time, this mastery becomes second nature, a hallmark of someone who has truly internalized the winner's mentality. Faith in your capacity to improve is a powerful catalyst. Winners adopt an attitude of optimism, not because they ignore life's difficulties, but because they see obstacles as temporary. They understand the concept of self-efficacy, the belief that your actions can influence outcomes. This mindset fosters a tenacious spirit, propelling you to continue long after others have resigned themselves to defeat. When you truly believe that effort will lead to progress, you become willing to invest more time, energy, and resources into achieving your objectives. This ongoing belief is what Jim Rohn called the magic of part-time, the idea that even small, consistent investments eventually produce substantial returns. Comparisons often poison ambition, leading to envy and discouragement. Winners, however, treat comparisons as a learning mechanism, not a barometer of self-worth. They observe what high performers do well and ask how they can incorporate similar strategies into their own routine. They don't fixate on feeling inferior, nor do they become complacent if they happen to outperform those around them. The focus remains on personal bests, because the real contest is between the person you are today and the person you can become tomorrow. By adopting this perspective, every interaction becomes an opportunity for growth rather than a competition driven by ego. Push yourself daily by celebrating small achievements. Winners recognize the psychological power of positive reinforcement. Each time they hit a milestone, no matter how small, they take a moment to acknowledge the progress. This practice fuels motivation, reminding them that they are on an upward trajectory. Neglecting to celebrate minor victories can rob you of the joy that sustains long-term effort. However, the celebration is proportional. They don't allow themselves to wallow in complacency. Instead, each milestone serves as proof of concept that bigger goals are achievable. This balanced approach keeps them hungry for more, forging a cycle of continuous improvement. Role models play a pivotal role in the lives of winners. They look to mentors, historical figures, or successful contemporaries who embody qualities they wish to emulate. Observing someone who has already walked the path you intend to travel can illuminate shortcuts and highlight pitfalls to avoid. Jim Rohn's teachings, for instance, have guided countless individuals to adopt the disciplines necessary for success. These principles, while simple, require steadfast commitment to execute consistently. By integrating wisdom gleaned from your role models, you develop a blueprint for your own journey. You also reassure yourself that your aspirations are not mere fantasies. They are achievable if you replicate the underlying behaviors that led others to triumph. Though winners cherish self-reliance, they understand the importance of seeking guidance when necessary. Pride and fear can trap us in cycles of ignorance, whereas a willingness to ask for help fosters faster progress. Winners often seek coaches, accountability partners, or mastermind groups where ideas can be exchanged and refined. This collaborative approach not only expands their network, but also provides real-time feedback. The synergy of collective effort accelerates growth far beyond what can be accomplished in isolation. Do not equate requesting help with weakness. Often, it takes more courage to admit you don't have all the answers. Adversity tests the strength of your commitment. Winners are relentless, refusing to concede defeat even when circumstances appear dire. When faced with financial strain, health issues, or personal tragedies, they adapt without losing sight of their ultimate objectives. This refusal to give in is not mere stubbornness. It's an assertion of willpower over external events. They re-examine their strategies, pivot if necessary, and continue marching forward. Ironically, it is during times of greatest turmoil that new pathways often emerge. By cultivating resilience under pressure, you become unshakable in the face of future obstacles, and your belief in your capabilities solidifies even more. Live each day with a sense of urgency, but also a sense of gratitude. Winners know that every moment is an opportunity, fleeting and irreplaceable. They approach tasks with the seriousness of someone who realizes that each day matters in the grand tapestry of life. However, they also pause to appreciate the journey, the lessons, and the people who add richness to their experience. This blend of focused determination and humble gratitude creates a centered mindset that can power you through your greatest challenges without losing perspective on what truly counts. When you balance ambition with appreciation, you discover a deeper fulfillment that transcends raw achievement. Financial discipline plays a significant role in how winners push themselves daily. Rather than chasing quick gains or indulging in short-term pleasures that sabotage long-term goals, they plan their finances with care. This could mean setting aside a portion of every paycheck for investment, or creating multiple streams of income. Managing money wisely reduces stress, allowing them to focus energy on growth rather than debt or monetary worries. Jim Rohn taught that your financial well-being echoes your personal habits. By practicing restraint in spending and consistency in saving, you position yourself to seize bigger opportunities down the road. Financial stability provides the bandwidth to dream bigger and act bolder. Many people underestimate the value of consistency, jumping from idea to idea without dedicating enough time to master any single pursuit. Winners lock onto a vision and then channel their efforts consistently, even if progress seems glacial. This unwavering commitment ensures they develop depth of skill and knowledge, gradually separating themselves from those who dabble aimlessly. It's natural to feel tempted by new trends or quick fixes that promise overnight success. Winners resist these siren calls, maintaining faith in the compounding effect of steady effort. Over time, the results become undeniable. What was once incremental growth transforms into exponential gains, and the discipline that once felt restrictive becomes second nature. Your words, your habits, and your associations combine to create a personal brand. Winners understand that brand credibility is built over time and can be lost in a heartbeat through carelessness or dishonesty. They commit to honesty, reliability, and a quality standard that remains consistent. This dedication extends beyond business endeavors. It permeates personal relationships, social media interactions, and community engagements. The principle is straightforward. Treat every interaction as an opportunity to reinforce your integrity. By doing so, you cultivate a reputation that precedes you, opening doors that might otherwise remain locked. In a world where trust can be scarce, standing firmly behind your word makes you a magnet for collaboration and success. Language is a double-edged sword, winners. Use it judiciously. Instead of saying, "I can't do that," they phrase it as, "I haven't learned how to do that yet." The subtle difference frames the challenge as a skill gap, not a permanent limitation. This approach applies not just to spoken words, but also to the internal dialogues that shape your perception of reality. A small linguistic shift from self-imposed limitation to possibility can redirect the trajectory of your entire day. Listen carefully to how you talk about your goals and challenges. If your language is peppered with defeatist expressions, that negativity will seep into your actions. Consciously choose words that propel you forward rather than hold you back. Never underestimate the importance of listening. Winners listen more than they speak, gathering crucial insights that inform better decisions. Whether in business negotiations, personal relationships, or casual encounters, active listening can reveal unspoken desires and concerns. By understanding what motivates others, winners tailor their approach to solve problems collaboratively, rather than imposing their will. This empathy doesn't weaken them. Instead, it creates alliances grounded in mutual respect. Listening is also a powerful tool for introspection. By tuning into the feedback of mentors, peers, and even critics, you discover blind spots that may be limiting your performance. Combine that awareness with action, and you convert setbacks into future victories. Celebrate progress, but never rest on past successes. Winners treat triumph as a sign that their methods are working, but they remain vigilant for new challenges and higher targets. The adrenaline rush of success is a powerful motivator, yet it can also become a lullaby that lulls you into complacency. Recognize every accomplishment as a call to raise the bar even further. This attitude ensures perpetual evolution, preventing the plateau where ambition goes to die. When you keep your eyes fixed on the horizon, each goal met becomes a stepping stone, not a final destination. Adopt a mindset of never-ending growth and watch as your potential expands beyond boundaries once deemed unthinkable. Nothing cements progress like teaching. Winners often seek opportunities to share their insights with others, whether through mentorship, workshops, or casual conversation. In the process of explaining concepts, they clarify their own thinking and reveal gaps in their understanding. This continuous cycle of learning and teaching accelerates mastery. It also fosters a broader perspective, as questions from students or peers can spark fresh insights that winners may never have considered otherwise. So if you feel you have acquired skills or knowledge, don't hoard them. Spread them. In doing so, you elevate your community and fortify your own capabilities. Adherence to discipline characterizes the daily life of winners. They impose structure on their day-specific times for working, learning, exercising, and reflecting. This structure serves as a scaffold upon which creativity and innovation can flourish. Paradoxically, The more disciplined they are, the more freedom they find to explore new ideas without losing sight of their obligations. Discipline is not a punishment. It is a powerful ally that ensures nothing of value slips through the cracks of negligence or forgetfulness. Over time, disciplined actions evolve into habits, and habits define your future. This is how winners continuously reinvent themselves without sacrificing the core principles that keep them grounded. Never forget to keep humility in your toolkit. Winners embody selfishness, but they do not assume they know it all. They remain open to the possibility that their success, thus far, represents only a fraction of what they could achieve. By letting go of arrogance, they stay receptive to feedback, remain curious about unexplored avenues, and continue to develop. Pride can build walls. Humility builds bridges that connect you to new opportunities and collaborators. This humility also humanizes winners, allowing them to connect with people on a genuine level, which in turn fortifies their network of supporters and allies. The shift from average to excellent often begins with a single decision. Winners are decisive. They understand that overthinking can paralyze action. Once they gather enough information to make an informed choice, they commit and move forward. Even if the decision later proves less than optimal, they adapt rapidly rather than languish in regret. Jim Rohn taught that life is not about having all the answers from the start, but about making choices, learning, and pivoting effectively. Indecision is a silent thief of dreams, delaying progress until the opportunity has vanished or momentum has died. Winners accept that even incorrect decisions can propel them further than making no decision at all. Intermittent solitude gives winners an edge in a noisy world. They seize moments away from the constant barrage of external stimuli to think deeply and recenter. In these quiet spaces, creative solutions and innovative ideas can emerge. This practice is not antisocial. It's about finding balance between external input and internal processing. If you never unplug, your mind remains crowded with opinions and expectations that aren't necessarily aligned with your ambitions. Embrace solitude as a tool for clarity, introspection, and strategic planning. Winners often credit their most significant breakthroughs to those tranquil intervals when they could hear the voice of their intuition amid the din of daily life. Building resilience requires acknowledging vulnerability. Winners do not pretend to be invincible, nor do they bury their fears. Instead, they face them directly, transforming that anxious energy into focused action. A fear confronted is a fear diminished. This principle is at the heart of daily self-pushing. Every challenge you accept becomes a chance to expand your capacity and shrink your limitations. The only way to ensure failure is to avoid risks altogether. But that path leads nowhere worth going. Stepping into the unknown might be uncomfortable, but it also holds the possibility of discovering untapped potential. Winners become adept at navigating discomfort, seeing it as a friend that signals growth rather than a foe to be feared. Small daily actions accumulate into significant outcomes. The winner's approach to health, relationships, career, and personal development can be summarized as: do something that moves the needle every single day. Whether it's 5 extra minutes of stretching, 1 more chapter of reading, or a single phone call that could open doors, these seemingly minor tasks carry monumental impact over time. In isolation, each action might appear inconsequential, but like raindrops filling a bucket, persistence yields transformative results. By viewing each day as a fresh opportunity, winners keep the momentum alive. They do not wait for the new year or a special occasion to start. Every moment is the right moment to invest in their future. This journey is not for the faint of heart. To push yourself like a winner means signing up for continuous growth, which can be exhilarating yet exhausting. The difference is that winners tap into a sense of purpose that surpasses the urge to quit when fatigue sets in. Purpose acts as an anchor, steadying them against life's storms and guiding them when all else fails. What drives you? Is it the desire to provide for your family, to be a beacon in your community, or to fulfill a personal mission that only you can accomplish? The deeper this sense of purpose, the more resilient you become. Align your actions with this underlying motivation, and you'll find the energy to keep going even on your most challenging days. Life is short, but those who live it fully can achieve, in a short span, what others fail to accomplish in decades. Winners compress time by taking advantage of every resource, every learning opportunity, and every ounce of energy they can muster. They don't postpone their dreams, waiting for a hypothetical right time. Instead, they trust that the best time to start is now. By weaving progress into their daily lives, they escalate the pace of achievement. This urgency is balanced by patience, though, because they also understand that meaningful successes rarely manifest overnight. Rapid progress and persistent patience might sound contradictory, but in practice, they combine to create unstoppable momentum. None of this is to say that winners feel motivated 100% of the time. They encounter the same emotional fluctuations as everyone else. The difference is their consistent reliance on disciplined systems to keep them on track when motivation wavers. On days when they would rather quit, these systems, habitual routines, preset goals, accountability structures step in to provide a guide rope. Eventually, the rough patches pass, and motivation resurfaces. By fostering these systems, winners mitigate the destructive effects of fleeting emotions. Discipline is the lighthouse guiding them back to shore. No matter how turbulent the sea becomes, uncertainty is inevitable on the road to success. Winners accept that the full blueprint may not reveal itself at once, but they move forward regardless. They are comfortable adapting in real time, confident that consistent action will uncover the next step. This acceptance of uncertainty distinguishes them from those who demand guaranteed outcomes before taking even the smallest leap. Jim Rohn advised not waiting for all lights to be green before leaving the driveway. Progress occurs when you take action amid imperfect conditions. If you maintain adaptability, you'll find that new information emerges as you move, guiding you to adjust your course and refine your approach. At this point, you might feel a surge of excitement, or perhaps a twinge of doubt about whether you can embody these principles. Realize that this mental tug-of-war is natural. Winners harness these mixed emotions as fuel, using excitement to drive forward and using doubt as a reminder to remain humble and prepared for obstacles. Instead of letting fear of failure paralyze you, let it sharpen your focus. The very sensation of nervousness indicates that you're pushing beyond your comfort zone, treading on ground that holds the potential for significant breakthroughs. Lean into that uncertainty and realize it's part of the process of leveling up. View every dawn as a blank slate where you can inscribe the next chapter of your success story. Winners know that past victories or failures are relevant only insofar as they inform better decisions today. They do not rest on the laurels of yesterday's achievements, nor do they let past failures define their identity. Each morning ushers in the possibility of rewriting your script. That sense of renewal is both liberating and daunting. Some choose to stay chained to their past narrative. Winners decide to forge a new one. Embrace the freedom inherent in each new day and use it to fortify the routines, habits, and mindset that characterize a winner's journey. Leaders in any field share a common trait. They lead themselves first. Winners govern their own impulses, prejudices, and vulnerabilities before attempting to direct others. By practicing self-leadership, they become exemplars of the ideals they preach. This authenticity resonates powerfully, attracting followers and collaborators who recognize genuine leadership in action. If you aspire to influence others, be it in business, community service, or creative endeavor, start by disciplining your own life. The respect you earn from living your principles far outweighs any authority you might gain through mere titles or positions. True leadership is not bestowed. It is earned through consistent, admirable behavior. The willingness to fail publicly and learn from it is another hallmark of a winner. They do not confine their ambitions to private dreams. They share their goals and actively seek accountability. While this public declaration raises the stakes, it also heightens commitment. Failure under public scrutiny can sting, but winners transform that sting into a catalyst for personal evolution. They don't hide from criticism. They examine its validity, discard what is baseless, and incorporate what is constructive. This process strengthens their resolve. Critics become unlikely allies in the winner's journey, acting as inadvertent coaches pointing out weaknesses to correct. Even the smallest acts of courage can have a compounding effect. Winners develop a habit of saying yes to challenges that scare them, whether it's speaking in front of a crowd, taking on a difficult project, or venturing into unfamiliar territory. Each courageous step instills a bit more confidence, making the next challenge slightly less intimidating. Over time, these incremental leaps accumulate, transforming fear from a paralyzing force into a motivator. This pattern of facing fear builds not only self-trust, but also a reputation for boldness that can open doors to opportunities rarely offered to those who always play it safe. Consistency in your message is vital. Winners walk their talk, living the values they espouse in public and in private. This congruence builds internal alignment, dissolving internal conflicts that can sap energy. When your actions match your declared intentions, you cultivate self-respect. Confidence radiates outward, influencing how others perceive you. Consistency is not just about repeating the same routines, but also about demonstrating uniformity in ethics and commitment. If you pledge to support someone, follow through. If you vow to wake up early for a project, do it. These seemingly small actions converge, creating a personal brand of reliability and authenticity, qualities that attract alliances, loyalty, and trust. Many find themselves torn between multiple passions or obligations, unsure of which path to commit to. Winners take a pragmatic approach. They evaluate the potential of each avenue, considering both passion and practicality. They conduct small experiments or side projects to gauge interest and viability. When they decide to go all in, they do so wholeheartedly. This decisive approach prevents the dilution of effort, which can happen when you try to juggle too many goals simultaneously. By giving their best in a focused manner, winners consistently outpace those who scatter their energy in multiple directions. They might pivot down the line, but only after giving their current endeavor a fair shot. Set yourself apart by doing what the average person avoids. Winners don't shy away from tasks that others deem tedious or unglamorous. Whether it's studying late into the night, making extra calls at the office, or perfecting small details in a project, they embrace the grind. The gap between ordinary and extraordinary often lies in the small tasks most people are unwilling to do. A disciplined approach to these details can elevate performance dramatically. This willingness to tackle the unappealing aspects of a goal is what consistently separates winners from those who merely daydream about success without putting in the foundational work. At times, self-doubt roars louder than ambition. Winners harness the power of positive associations to counteract this internal critic. They remind themselves of past achievements, no matter how minor, to validate their ability to succeed again. Some keep a success journal, outlining each day's wins to build a personal repository of proof. In moments of insecurity, they revisit these notes to reaffirm their competence. This consistent reinforcement fortifies their belief in future success. As Jim Rohn taught, belief is a powerful driver of behavior. If you believe you can achieve a goal, you will pursue it with vigor. If you believe you're destined to fail, you'll sabotage yourself at every turn, often without realizing it. Now, you've already received the blueprint, the practical steps, the mindset shifts, the disciplined routines. But here comes the diamond, the final piece of wisdom that can reshape your entire approach. It is not enough to push yourself sporadically, or only when you're inspired. The real transformation occurs when you adopt the identity of someone who consistently seeks growth. Once you internalize this identity, pushing yourself daily becomes as natural as breathing. Challenges transform into opportunities, and discipline becomes your default setting. You shift from someone who tries to someone who simply is. When you see yourself as a winner, you behave like one. That subtle but monumental shift in self-perception is the diamond, the priceless catalyst that turns all these principles from mere theories into lived reality. Embrace that diamond and let it guide you from this very moment onward. Feel the reverberations of your new identity as they echo through your choices, your habits, and your future successes. Winners don't just do, they become. Let your evolution into this empowered self be the legacy you write daily, paragraph by paragraph, moment by moment. Your life will never be the same again.